Today, you and me, are going supercar shopping. And this is for our very first supercar. And we're super excited to let you guys ride shotgun as we go through our picks for the best first supercars that you can buy on planet Earth. But the best part is we got an honorable mention, baby. And you're gonna wanna stick around because that is at the end of the video. So we are gonna pick our favorite first supercars and then you're gonna pick yours too. And the way you do that is by clicking down in the description and clicking on that link to go to a poll. And you're definitely gonna wanna do that because that is gonna sway which car we actually go out and buy like next week. Because we're gonna buy our first supercar and you are vicariously going to too. So buckle up and let's go. So I am here, you guys, with the man, the myth, the squid.
I'll take it. That's what they call me.
And here's the thing, guys, we're always preaching about buying cheap supercars. And then, you know, I roll up to a car show in an old Porsche.
Yeah, dude, that is not gonna cut it anymore.
I know. So that's why we compiled a list of cars, well, ideal supercars, and I'm gonna run you and everybody watching this through them. So Squid, are you ready for the first pick?
I better not be a Porsche.
There are no Porsches on this list whatsoever. We're actually starting off with a Raging Bull. So Squid, the first supercar that I think fits into our budget and I think makes a huge statement with the curb appeal is gonna be a Gallardo, a first gen. What's so awesome about the first gen is that they had that Auto Tragic single clutch gearbox called, I think it was the E-Gear, but they also came in a manual 6-speed.
But you're talking, that car is old enough to drive itself. That car's almost old enough to smoke.
Yeah, it probably is. It definitely at least has its learner's permit for driving, for sure. But what's so awesome about dude, come on, it's a Lamborghini. I mean,
the L word, that is YouTube gold right there. Like I'm on board for the L word. For sure.
I mean, and think like you take a Tinder date to lunch. You know, I toss you the keys, and like, you know, they're like, hey, what do you drive? And all you do is show them your key. The only
I get to drive one of these?
The only
or do I just get to borrow the keys? Can I just borrow the keys from you and still drive the Lexus?
I mean, you could. It's probably more reliable. But the funny thing about the Gallardo is actually the key. I'm gonna pull up a picture of a 2004 Gallardo key. Dude, it's literally an old Audi key. Look at that.
Oh, that's disgusting.
How gross is that?
I thought you were trying to sell me on a Gallardo.
But you're not driving the key. You're using the key to drive the car. So let me tell you a couple other things, because the 5-liter putting out 494 horsepower, it sounds like an F1 car. Straight up screams, like screams. I mean,
but okay, for how much money though?
Well, that's what's so awesome about it, because I think we could find a pre-LP car, so just a 04 to 08 Gallardo with a 6-speed manual, which is gated, for 100 grand.
That's cool. Is that a factory color? It's a really nice blue.
It is. Oh, here we go. Oh, this interior is gross though. You don't want tan interior in your Lambo. So see that? It is. It's an automatic. Yes. That should have a little pull with a little knob on it for a 6-speed manual. But this one right here, so I think this one, look at that. Look at that, you got 100 grand. 99,995. Using the ideal car strategies, man, we're gonna get that thing for under 90.
I mean, the 6-speed definitely makes up for that, like, really weird interior color combination. That is disgusting. Oh my God. Is that a black steering wheel with a blue dashboard?
You'll be going so fast, you won't even be able to see the dash.
Oh my God. So, that's one of the ugliest interiors I've ever seen.
That is very 90s. And I think that is a candidate for our Gallardo. So, are you cool, Squid, with that being our pick for the Gallardo 6-speed? Something for around 100 grand?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fantastic car. All jokes aside, like, I know it's an old Audi and everything, but like that's a proper frickin' supercar. It's gonna scream, it's gonna be beautiful. Everywhere you go, everyone's gonna stop and look at you. I think it's a great car.
Perfect. All right, should we move on?
Sure. Well, what do you got next?
All right, next up.
No Porsche, no Porsche, no Porsche.
So, Squizzard, you know that like a lot of models of cars are named after animals? You know, you got like, well, you got the bull, you got like Porsche with the horses, or what is it? They have a stallion or something. Oh yeah, the Ferrari. But not a lot of car manufacturers end up naming their car models after reptiles. So I think you know where I'm going with this, right?
I do. I like where you're going with this.
Yeah, I'm going towards something that will bite you and is venomous.
And
It's
is a
the
little
Dodge Viper.
closer to home.
It is the Dodge Viper, which this is really interesting. The Dodge Viper actually, Lamborghini worked with Chrysler building the motor for the Dodge Viper. So they both have V10s, both the Gallardo and the Viper both have V10s, except they have different firing orders, and that's why the V10 in the Lambo sounds like an F1 car. And then you got the Dodge Viper, which it sounds good, but not as good.
Sounds like a big muscle car.
It does. It's a muscle car, but like I think that, I mean, especially the one that I'm thinking of, the Gen 5, which started in 2013, that is a supercar. I mean, that thing holds its own against really anything and everything on the road.
Okay, but you know what the comments are going to say.
What's that?
It's not a supercar.
How is it not a supercar? It's got...
Look, I'm the one that thinks the Hellcat's a supercar, so you don't have to convince me, but I think you have to convince the audience that this is a supercar. So what makes the Dodge Viper, the 5th gen, which I think you can make a case that the 5th gen is definitely more of a supercar than like the 1st gens.
Okay.
But what makes the 5th gen's Viper a supercar?
I'm gonna say one sentence, and I think you're gonna become a believer. Not all supercars have to be exotic. They just have to be able to perform at the same or better level than supercars of the same generation or year. 640 horsepower in 2013, V10, 6-speed manual. That thing is going to literally blast pretty much any other supercar from 2013 off the road.
Yeah, I mean, all those ingredients say supercar to me. The only thing that doesn't say supercar is just that it's a Dodge emblem. That's it.
It's just Dodge doing dodgy things.
Which, like, at this point, like, Dodge makes supercars. Like, they made the Hellcat, they made the Viper. Like, Dodge makes supercars.
Plus, you get rear-wheel drive for, you know, or right-wheel drive, as they say. So, honestly, this thing, as long as you don't die, is probably one of the most fun cars at any price point to drive.
So it's affordable, right? Like a 5th gen Viper, are they pretty cheap right now?
I mean, you're trading pennies with the Gallardo, so it's pick your poison. Do you want American or an American V10, or do you want an Italian V10?
Man, the 5th gen just looks so wildly different.
Yeah, it's definitely a contemporary. It kind of looks like a C7 Corvette.
I think it's a great thing. I think it's a really, really, really good looking car.
So I'm gonna pull up what they're kind of trading at right now on classic.com. So yeah, I've driven 1st gen, 2nd gens. I haven't driven a 5th gen, but I've always wanted to. And they're trading hands. This is a little bit skewed at $146,000 because that's gonna include the ACR and the other lower production models for the 5th gen since it was their last gen. But
so are we looking at a base model?
A GTS, yeah, we'd look at a GTS, which would come in at right over 100 grand. So pretty much the same price, more or less, than the Gallardo. And
okay, but which would you pick between the two?
I'd have to go Raging Bull. I'd have to.
Really?
Yeah,
This is where we part ways.
This is kind of a Fiat to me, and I'm like owning a Jeep, like Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, all that stuff. It just having one in the garage is a lot, but having two, that kind of sounds like a nightmare. I mean, essentially, this is the most American badass vehicle that you can get. I mean, you roll up somewhere and you tell people that, you know, you drive a Viper and they literally go, be safe, like don't kill yourself. And that's the appeal.
They probably also assume you're from Florida.
Or the Midwest, yes. Probably not the West Coast. I bet most of the Vipers are out in Florida or the East Coast. And I, hands down, think it is a supercar. Like, you get to roll with supercars you're also probably the last car in the corral with all the other supercars. Like it's the one that maybe doesn't get the most photos or the most attention. And I think you either love or you hate Vipers. Like there's really no middle ground with them.
Yeah, it's super polarizing car. And I do love them, but I don't know if I love them for that price.
I agree. So should we move on?
When I can get a Lambo. Yeah, what's the next car? What do we got?
Okay.
Give me something that really sells me.
All right, Squid. So for the third pick, I know you love unreliable cars. Like that's your favorite.
I do.
Yeah, and so, I mean...
Unreliable British cars, preferably.
Well, then, God, I mean, this is your treat plus the cherry on top. I'm thinking a McLaren, which has the doors that are awesome, and it has the unreliability that you love, because it's British.
Yes!
Do you know which one?
I love working on cars.
Yeah, this one, unfortunately though, what kind of sucks about McLaren, especially the one that we're looking at, the MP412C, which is really their first contemporary supercar since the McLaren F1. But getting these things worked on is few and far between. Like if you don't live in any of the big cities, like most independent shops cannot work on these because you need like a really expensive tool to even open up the engine compartment to get inside. But
okay, that's something to really consider because we are probably going to thrash whatever car you buy.
We are, and this is probably the most contemporary pick of what we're looking at here. Although it is the first.
Yeah, I
gen.
mean, of the cars you've talked about so far, we have talked about 15-year-old body designs, like through and through. Like this is the first time you've presented a car to me where I'm like, oh. That looks like a modern supercar. Like that looks like something that is for sale today. It's beautiful. It's got vents and edges and a little wing on the back.
Well, it drives like a computer.
Okay, so it's unreliable. What else is wrong with it?
I have to say it's probably the nerdiest car on this list. It's very Android to me, which I'm an iPhone guy, so I'm not a nerd.
I feel that, like, it is pretty geeky. The freaking name of it is MP412C. Like, what the does that even mean? But it's like, it's also kind of like, you know, a very small dagger. Like, it's a really sharp knife. Like, I feel like it would be just an absolute joy to drive this thing everywhere.
And the best part about this is that actually it really is priced in line with the other two cars that we talked about. If we take a look at classic.com, the average sales price right now is $124,000, but lowest sale price is $82K, you know? And so these cars are, the reason that they have such a low price for the performance is because of all the electronic gremlins that they have. Stupid things like you can't open the door because there's no door handle. So you can't get in to drive. So that's what keeps the price down. But if I had a good independent mechanic, I would definitely be looking at this thing super hard. It's just, we haven't found one of those yet. So if we're on Auto Tempest,
you're in the sticks now.
The cheapest one on Auto Tempest, exactly, is this 2012, the first year, and it's for $108,900. So again, right within the bandwidth of the Gallardo as well as the Viper. And I mean, there's no doubt that this is a supercar, right?
No, I think if you got one of these, you would have to have it in some bright ass color, like some super orange color or something, so that everyone knows that no, this is actually a supercar. Like, you get this in black, like it just looks like some weird Lotus Elise that's like a track day racer, but not a supercar.
A Lotus, that's a great way to say it, right? Like, people don't really know what a Lotus is, and like, is it a supercar, is it a sports car? It has a Toyota motor, but it has a supercharger. And I think the MP412C, people really don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, like this one you're looking at right now, this black one, like it doesn't look supercar in black for sure. I mean, it is beautiful though.
Oh, it's stunning. Yeah, it is beautiful, but I don't.
And look, it already has your yellow headlights that you love.
I know. So, final thoughts? What do you think of an MP412C?
I think it's a top contender. I know like unreliability and whatnot, but like we could figure that out. Hopefully, you know, you can also just cross your fingers. Like my Land Rover ran for like 10 years without any problems, and then it had all the problems. But you know, I think to me this is neck and neck with that Lambo, just in that like. This is a proper modern supercar. The Lambo is so dated. I know it's still a fantastic car, but this just feels like the first car I'm really excited about.
My one issue with it, other than the reliability, is that it doesn't feel special to me. And hear me out on this. The Gallardo was built from 2004 until 2013. It was a 10-year run, right? The MP4 12C was built for, let's say, 4 years, 3 years, and then the 650S came out, then the 570S came out, then the 600LT, and then the 720. All these cars, every single year, it feels like McLaren comes out with a new car. So you're always gonna have like, the MP4 is like 8 generations old now, and it's only 8 years old.
Yeah, it's like, so it's basically like the iPhone 7. Like if you're caught driving the iPhone 7 right now, like you're super out of style. Like why aren't you driving, you know, the iPhone 12 car?
Would you date somebody that had an iPhone 7, Squid?
I mean,
okay, don't answer that.
Have it.
Don't answer that, dude. You'd probably date someone that has a flip phone, which actually is very similar to the next car that I picked.
What is this? What are we getting into?
This is the contemporary Ferrari flip phone. I know you're gonna love it.
Okay, I like one of those words.
Which one?
And it's flip phone.
Yeah.
It's flip phone, it's not Ferrari.
Yeah, well, this is, you know, more than you can afford, pal. Actually, it's not. It might be the cheapest car on our list. Actually, yes. If you get it with the F1 transmission, I'm talking about the circular Ferrari. Ooh. I'm talking about the 360.
I mean, okay, go on. I'm listening.
Okay.
Convince me.
I hate the transmission. The F1 transmission is so antiquated, which is the biggest word besides bulbous that I'm going to use today. It just does not shift well. Also, I don't love the front end. I don't love how big the headlights are. I think that a Corvette from the same year looks 10 times better, which would be the C6.
You are a big like headlight snob. You hate the 996 headlights. You don't like the 360 headlights.
Actually, the Corvette from the same year would be the C5 Corvette with those pop up and down headlights, which is, you know, I mean, that's definitely better, I guess, than these things. This was a time when car makers were trying to get away from pop-ups, and like they really liked the rounded headlights, which just, it dates the car so much, don't you think?
Now, do you really want to be a Ferrari owner? That's the real question. Do you want to be the guy that owns a Ferrari? You're gonna have to get the Ferrari hat. You're gonna have to get the Ferrari polo. You're gonna have to get the, you know, you're gonna be in the Ferrari fan club. Yeah. You probably have to like bleach your tips. You're gonna be wearing a sun visor.
And I think that there's kind of this ladder you have to climb in the supercar world, and I think that the Ferrari isn't the starter supercar. That being said though, I've always liked the 360, even though I've kind of bashed on it today. Ultimately, I mean, who wouldn't want a Ferrari at some point in their life?
Dude, I'll admit, like, I'll still like YouTube up some videos of like Ferrari 360 Modena, like 2B style exhaust and like straight piped, and like just listen to that. Like I can just fall asleep to the engine noise coming out of a 360 for sure.
But yeah, dude, this would look really good next to the girl that you're dating that has a iPhone 7 or a flip phone.
Yeah, it's just really old, but it is affordable Ferrari, so I think we should definitely, when we're shopping for supercars, always keep a Ferrari on the list, for sure.
But she won't know it's affordable, because if we go to classic.com, these things are trading hands on average for $63,000, dude.
Okay, that changes my opinion a little bit, because we could buy 2 of these and each have one.
You can see though that like these cars are still totally affordable. Average price, 68 grand. Lowest price is 50 grand for these. Now, because they're so cheap, I'm going to omit just getting the F1, and I'm going to reinstate my opinion. I want to go for a 6-speed manual.
Yeah, what does that
gated.
cost?
They're actually not as expensive as the other cars we've talked about so far. They're trading hands at roughly 91 grand.
Close though, so like you're thinking about like an old Ferrari for $91,000, or a pretty modern Viper or a Gallardo. Like that makes the argument a little harder to make to me.
So let's find again. Let's go to Auto Tempest and find a couple for sale. Cheapest one is oh my god, dude, this got hit by the ugly stick on the way down, dude. Look at how gross this is.
Is that champagne?
Dude, that should be on like a 2000 Corolla.
Oh my god.
Oh my. Did you just throw up? Again, $100,000. It's like the 6-figure first supercar day, isn't it?
It is.
For 100 grand, that wang in the back is meh, but like silver doesn't look bad. It has tan interior. It's a wrap and air suspension away from looking really good. It has the Challenge rear which is, I think that looks stunning. I mean, that is pure Ferrari right there.
Yeah, that's a real...
It almost looks like a Diablo.
It looks like a complete...
Doesn't that kind of look like a...
Yeah, oh yeah, the tail lights, little, you know, reverse lights in the middle of the tail lights. I love that. It's gorgeous.
But that wing, that is the worst wing I think I've ever seen on a Ferrari, or maybe any car.
I like the wing. I like all wings though.
God.
I'm a wing man.
Look at that. Oh, that sells me. I don't know. This might take the cake. That right there is beautiful. I hate the steering wheel being the same color, but other than that, holy mackerel. That looks like art.
Yeah, it's a completely different car than that last one we looked at. I mean, this is properly a beautiful Ferrari in the right color, the right spec.
And remember, you spend 99% of the time with the car inside of it. So this is what you're looking at. Not those ugly headlights, not the 4x4 suspension. Well, we'll put it on bags. You're looking at this, and you're looking at that emblem right there while you go through and order off the dollar menu at McDonald's.
Sold. I'm sold. I'm absolutely sold on this car. This is in the top 3 for me right now.
Okay, yeah, me too. This kind of changed my life right here, this photo. So I think we should move on because, I don't know, these gated 6-speed manuals, I got a thing for them.
Yeah, I mean, I just want the opportunity to drive one, so please get one.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Let's do it.
As much as I love Ferraris, I think we gotta jump off this bandwagon and go with a different country.
Japan?
Why not? All right, man, so we're not picking up anything from Japan. You know how much I love the Gen 1 NSX, but it's
slow.
It is slow, it's too reliable. I want something that's a little unreliable. And you know, I was thinking that a supercar that the manufacturer is named after a belly button might make a lot of sense, you know, an Audi.
Oh, this is the one that's gonna cut me to the core.
Well, this is one car that is very close to my heart. I owned a B5 S4 for about 3 months and it blew up, so I have not a very good relationship with Audi, but this car is their halo car, and well, I mean, it comes with a naturally aspirated V8 or V10. Do you know what I'm talking about here?
Oh, absolutely. Like, it's the R8.
It's the R8, yeah.
The budget supercar.
You have to say it right though. It's the R8. When I started this channel 5 years ago, that was my goal, was to buy an Ibis White 6-speed manual V8 R8. That was what I ultimately was shooting for with the channel, to make enough money to afford the payments on that. The R8 is something that's truly special to my heart, and you know, if I were to get one, I probably would never be able to sell it, because it's a milestone that, you know, it's a gateway to the bigger, badder, better supercars, but it still is a supercar. Right,
and it's your first love. Like I know my first love of supercars was the R34, because I'm, you know, a drift kitty. But like, even though today like the sheen has worn off of it, I still have a lot of love for the R34 Skyline, because it was the first one I fell in love with. It was the one I put on my wall when I was a teenager. And like, right. you never forget that. You never forget the first car that like ignited that passion for you.
If we take a look at classic.com, we can see the R8 V8s are trading hands at 64 grand, and then you get the V10 R8s trading hands at close to 100. So there's a delta of roughly $35,000 there. Think of what you could do with $35,000 to a V8 6-speed R8. What would you do, Squid?
Wide body, bags, deep wheels, something that makes fire come out the back, and a giant wing.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything. So the lowest R8 in the nation right now is under 70 grand. Holy mackerel, this is like exactly what I want right here. Whoa. And this is so tricky with the R8 because the R-tronic shift knob, I mean,
yeah, this one kind of fools you into a false sense of security. You're like, it looks like a manual.
Yeah, I mean, at first glance and for the casual observer, don't you think that would look like a manual transmission?
Which is good. If you're gonna have a crappy slush box transmission in your supercar, it should at least be pretending to be manual, because you don't want to be that.
It's not a 6-speed manual. Absolutely no way, even though this pretty much checks all the boxes. Okay, so I think we may have found the one. It's an 08, it's already pretty YouTube. And again, let's make sure that it actually is a manual transmission with that gated 6-speed.
It's got the wing that I like.
Oh, very little difference, but definitely a huge difference in performance, eh?
Yeah.
All right, so this thing is actually super sick, and it has 13, I might throw in a bid. 78,000. Wow. I was telling you guys to vote for the R8 earlier, but now I'm like, why wouldn't you vote for the R8? This thing is super sick.
Well, it sounds to me, Brad, like you have your mind made up, but like, I don't know, you're kind of convincing me. Like I am, as you know, like a big Audi hater, but these are looking pretty good.
I think this is the perfect first supercar. Like, everybody will come up to you and talk to you at the gas station. It's not as pretentious as a Ferrari or Lambo. So like, people are more curious versus like a Lambo is a little bit off-putting. I mean, like, you know how the stereotypical Lambo owner,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
you buy a Lambo for a reason. You're really seeking attention. You're that kind of guy.
Yeah, and I think we can break the stereotype with any of these cars, but I think this is just a great starter kit. Like it really is something that you can grow from this platform with the next one, which we aren't done yet. So do you want to know what the next one is?
Did you do a little dance earlier? Did I see an honorable mention dance earlier? Like, are we about to get into something weird?
Are we already there? We are already there, ladies and gentlemen. The next car on this list is, well, it's kind of Squid's pick, and it is the honorable mention, baby.
Ooh, now I'm excited.
Yeah! All right, Squizzard, so the honorable mention, I'm gonna hand over the reins to you for this one, because I know you have an eclectic taste, and I know how much you like those drift mobiles, or whatever you call them. I don't know, like the slideways things.
We call them driftmobiles. That's what all the drift
See, I'm so meta, it's not even funny. So what would be your honorable mention since I got to pick the first 5?
I mean, I've been talking about a car for a few months now and even made a number of videos about whether or not it is a supercar. And this is the American mega muscle car, the Dodge Hellcat. Which, look.
Oh, God.
Say what you want. You're talking, this is the most powerful car on this list. It's the newest car on this list. Look, I put out a poll every day on our channel, and pretty much without error, the Hellcat always wins whatever the poll is. It is a fan favorite for sure. You guys love the Hellcat. I love the Hellcat.
Okay, now...
And it's probably one of the cheapest cars on this list too. I mean, what's a new Hellcat cost? Like $78,000 bucks?
But we got to go for exclusivity, and although the Hellcat is really cool, I hate to say this, but the Hellcat, the SRT, the Challenger that has stolen my heart is the Demon, which was a 1-year car, and I mean it had 808.
Absolutely.
It had 808 horsepower and like 797 foot-pounds of torque, and that thing was like...
That thing can move the earth.
That thing can move the earth, and the only issue with those, if we're to look at my beautiful computer over here and look up the Dodge Demon, I think it might also be the most expensive car on our list. They're trading hands at $127,000 for a quote-unquote supercar, not a supercar.
Yeah, that's, I think, too much to spend on an American muscle car, I think. At that price, you could get a pretty decent Viper. That's like a little more proper supercar. It's probably gonna appreciate more. Now, here's the other thing though. Brand new right now, you can get the Hellcat Red Eye wide body, 797 horsepower. Not as fast as the Demon, but real dang close. And you can buy it brand new.
With a warranty.
With a warranty. For, God, what does that cost? Like 90 grand?
It's probably close to that. And I mean, unfortunately, you have to have the warranty work done at Chrysler, which is a little bit suspect. But I mean, that is not, that's an incredible value. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna cut you off right there because I want you guys to let us know which one. Are you gonna go with the honorable mention, this Red Eye, Hellcat, Hellkeezy thingy-majiggy, or are you gonna go with my fan favorite, well, not the fan favorite, but my personal crush, the Audi R8, the V8 with the 6-speed manual? Or should we get something a little bit more Italian? Should we go with a Lambo or a Ferrari? Yes, they're older, but remember, the whole idea here is this is the first supercar I've ever bought, this channel has ever had. Like, we're going to be creating a ton of content with it, and so...
What do you want to see on the channel? I think that's, you know, vote with your hearts. I mean, you know, vote also with your favorite presenter, but what do you want to see on this channel? What do you want to see us driving? What do you want to see us messing with? What do you want to see us modify?
That's not fair. Favorite presenter? Come on, Squid. We know everybody loves you.
I have the YouTube statistics. I know who the favorite is, and it's Ash. So what does
it's
Ash want?
YouTube girlfriend for sure. And yeah, so definitely vote, you guys, because we're definitely pulling the trigger on something sooner than later, and we want to introduce it to you guys and make a ton of videos about it. I mean, we're about to buy our first supercar, which is pretty incredible, and I mean, it's really because of you guys and all your support, which I don't want to feel like I'm getting too sappy or anything, but like seriously, like you guys tuning in every day, telling your friends about Ideal Cars, and just supporting us with the comments, the like button, which if you haven't hit yet, smash it over there so that we know that you liked it and you could do more, and we could do more videos like this. But this is really a huge milestone that we've been striving for years, I mean decades, and you know, now we're here to be able to do it, and it's just that much sweeter to be able to do it with you guys riding shotgun. So thanks again for all your support.
Thank you guys for sticking with me through all these terrible mispronunciations I make in every
You're only
video.
getting better.
Some would say I'm getting worse.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun to have the whole team, Squid, all the other guys along for this ride internally as well. It's a huge effort to make these videos for you guys on a pretty much daily basis. So just know that we've been working our butts off to get to this point, and here we are, and we're ready to pull the trigger, right?
I am.
You were ready like a year and a half ago.
I came ready. I'm driving a Lexus SUV, man. I'm ready to drive something with proper horsepower and fun.
I say that no matter what supercar we get, we have to bag it. Like, let's piss off the purists a little bit. All right, guys, if you're new here, I'm Brad Danger.
I'm Squid Danger.
And this is Ideal Cars, so please subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Of course, if you enjoyed the vid, hit the like button. And as always, keep living
the ideal lifestyle. Bye, YouTube.